What's good, everybody? We are on one of our subscriber account takeover giveaway winners account, Mr. Batter 93. For those new to the channel, every 100 subscribers we do a free takeover giveaway. So recently, with how Hades shouting us out, we did get a pretty substantial boost in our subscribers. So yeah, we did 3 takeovers. This will be the first of 3. And this one's going to be pretty straightforward, I think. He just wants us to help him build a Spider 20 auto team for the Arbiter missions. Looking at the Great Hall. Pretty standard, I guess. Opted to go for the crit damage first. We're on day 210, so we get Tainix Hate Flower tomorrow. Sitting in gold 5. Not bad. Helicath. I just like to take a look around and check out all the different teams and stuff like that. Alright. So he hasn't really set up much in the way of tag teams yet. Sitting in bronze 1, so yeah. Hasn't been moving around much. Let's get into the roster and see what we have to work with for Spider. So right away, I can see Pythian. He makes the Spider run very safe with his cleanses, heals, and revive. His build is not terrible. Just a mishmash of gear. I would generally want to be building my Pythian in a regeneration set if I could. Or just like good immortal pieces. Resilience is a good set. Resistance or Stone Skin if you're going to use them in high-end arena. Helicath is clan boss, so nothing special there. Ultimate Death Knight. Rocking a pretty weak set of gear, looks like. Not as much hit points as I would want. You could probably take some defense out. Somehow has 101% crit damage and a ton of accuracy. I don't know if he needs that much accuracy. I'd rather put him in a resistance build. We've got Syl. Always a good choice for Spider. Give you those stuns, the revives, the heals. Decrease speed on the A1. Build is looking pretty decent. Quite low on hit points in some of these builds. But should work out. Aox, AoE decreased attack, which I don't need because I'll be using this. Oh, he's not booked. Okay, it shouldn't matter too much. Who else will I use? Cold Heart. He's built her with 100% crit rate, which you don't need to do with Cold Heart because she gets a built-in 30% crit rate on this nuke. And this is the only skill you really care about if it crits or not. Speed is good, needs a bit more accuracy. So I'll probably rebuild the Cold Heart. We only have 10 mil gold or so. Or silver, rather. So I do want to be a little bit careful. We'll just level up his sparring pit for him. Check his souls in the shop. So yeah, I'm just going to go in there with the team I think will work. And give it a test run. Okay, so we're on 18 now. So he was running something different. Resistant all battles. Probably not that important because none of these champs are in resistance builds. And the AoE HP burner. So we'll go with the accuracy aura because Cold Heart's only got 150 accuracy. And we're just going to run this and see how it goes. So Ultimate Death Knight with his passive is going to soak up all the Spiderling attacks. Pythian's going to put up Strengthen, going to cleanse, going to heal. Decrease speed up. AoE HP burn. And then there's the Heart Seeker. So it's not going to be super fast run. But it should be relatively safe and consistent. Spider's already down to half hit points. Hopefully we got a Heart Seeker coming up soon. Okay. So the Spider gets one turn. That's actually pretty good, because now we're going to have fresh Spiders for the next time Mordecai has his AoE HP burn. And that should allow us to take it down right to the end of the fight. Very solid setup for safe spider farming. Is Mordecai not booked, maybe? Because he probably should have used his HP burn by now. Hopefully it comes out this turn. There we go. Yeah, because it took him so long to get the HP burn back up, we did more damage to the Spiderlings than we wanted. So some of them might die before their second HP burn gets ticked. I think it is still going to clear, though. So close. Alright, not bad. Attack banner with some attack and speed. Alright, let's check out Mordecai. Okay, his HP burn is booked. Oh, his speed is super, super low. Okay. So that's our problem. So we're going to rebuild Mordecai. Doesn't have masteries, doesn't really need masteries. War Master on Pythian for Clan Boss. Helm Smasher. Huh? I'm definitely going to rebuild this Ultimate Death Knight for him. He is, definitely could be in a much better build. The Syl build is... She doesn't need these. She's not trying to do damage. If you're going to go offense on Syl, you need to go down to War Master. Fearsome Presence is good. I would opt for Defiant and then go over to here. And then Blast Proof. And then down. So I'll probably rebuild the Syl as well. Or at least check out what kind of set I can put her in. And the other champions were... Pythian, Syl, Ultimate Death Knight. Oh, Coldheart. And yeah, she did her job fine. I don't see much reason in changing her build. She's got Giant Slayer there. That's good for Fire Knight. Yeah, the only thing I would say about her, she doesn't need that much crit rate. So, like, these gloves are kind of pointless on her. So, I'm going to play around with some builds and push up to 20 spider. And then we'll come back and see what improvements we can make. Okay, this is the new Ultimate Death Knight build. So, we took these gloves off Runekeeper. We took the chest off of Metal Shaper. We took the boots off Deliana. We took the shield off Valerie. So those champions will all be missing one piece of gear. We switched the masteries around. We went for resistance. Defensive masteries down to resistance. With some accuracy here. More turn meter when buffs expire. And from here you can go a couple of ways. You can go down to Spirit Haste over to Lasting Gifts. Or you can do this to increase the duration of the decrease attack. And you could go for Evil Eye for some turn meter control. Or Leech whenever you place a fear, which he does on his AoE. So if you're pairing him with like big damage dealers in Doom Tower waves, the Leech could be helpful if you don't have healers, but you do have a Pythian, so, and a Syl, so take that with a grain of salt. I would probably go for Spirit Haste to Lasting Gifts, and over here I would probably just do Evil Eye or Cycle of Magic, but again, I'll leave that up to you. So basically, I took his accuracy down quite substantially. This build is going to be really good for pushing dungeons up to stage 24, 25 and farming those. There's a lot of room for glyph improvements as well on a lot of this gear. And yeah, of course he would need books eventually as well if you want to use him for that. If you're going to bring him into hard Doom Tower, you're going to drop this and put like a hit points. You're going to switch out like probably the resistance setup for accuracy, like a set of perception. And now I'm going to rebuild the Mordecai, and then we will go back to Spider. Okay, here's the new Mordecai build. So just some decently tanky, fast, accurate gear. Obviously lots of room for glyphing. You could tweak the build a bit if you want, but I think it's just going to work fine for you. Now let's go back in and see the difference here. So we no longer need the accuracy aura. So we'll just use the defense aura. Oh no, we do, because Coldheart doesn't have enough accuracy until she's ascended. So we have Mordecai fast, but not too fast. That way all the spiders have a chance to spawn before he does his HP burn. Ultimate Death Knight will take a little bit more damage now because I dropped his defense considerably. But he won't be in danger of dying here. The CC from Syl, plus obviously Pythian with the block debuffs. Well, he's got enough resistance to resist the poisons anyway. But Pythian with the heals and strengthen and revive. Yeah, he won't be dying. Mordecai, on the other hand. But it's fine. We got a revive here. Syl is weak hitting on her slow speed, so that's a little unfortunate as well with stage 19. Luckily, we just need to get through 19 once, and then we're home free. There's the second HP burn, which comes out on time because Mordecai's running faster now, so he cycles his turns quickly. In the future, you can set up a speed running team with either Tyrant or Mordecai, along with probably like Pythian just to keep everybody alive. Or sorry, that's not really a speedrunning team. It's more like a team you would bring food with to level food while you farm Spider. Attack with speed. Okay, so let's see Spider 20 now. Looks like it's going to go off without a hitch. I'm expecting Mordecai to die here when the Spider takes a turn. Unless all these spiders die before it gets a turn. Which could happen. No. Okay, well he survived. Decrease speed up. Yeah, Ultimate Death Knight is like a cheat code for tanking spiderlings. Amazing progression champ. And then when you get to end game and you don't need them for dungeons anymore, you can throw them in an arena team in a really high resist stone skin set with the same masteries that you have on him now. And he's a really good counter to single target damage dealers. So your Rhodos or anything like that. Rhodos, Gala long braids. I don't know. People don't use single target damage dealers a lot in arena. Other than Rhodos. So there's your 20 auto. I'm going to go ahead and push up to 25 because I think this team is capable of doing it. You're on the Void Keep mission. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and push up and then we'll come back with the results. Okay, so there's 24. It is a bit sketchy because Ultimate Death Knight is weak affinity here, so he can get crit. Once you book out his shield and his decreased attack, you'll take a lot less damage. Likewise, if you get Mordecai to 60 or put Tyrant in place of Mordecai, that'll make the team a lot tankier as well. Plus he's got the ally protect and all that fun stuff. But I don't know if you really want to book out Tyrant so soon, because it seems like you have other Legos that you'd rather book. But this run on 24, it feels like it should be a safe run. People are going to die, but Pythian there can always revive them. And eventually when you get Pythian out of your clan boss team, you can put him in like a really high resist, tanky regen set, kind of like you'd build a Duchess. And that should solve any issues you have here. So we'll run 25 and see if we get the same result, which I expect we will. Might as well show this run. And then that'll be the takeover. I can take a look at your other dungeon teams as well. And maybe offer some suggestions for you. Yeah, 25 is a better affinity for tanking, but it's worse energy efficiency if you're trying to farm gear. So I'd stick with 24 unless you see it failing. Then you might want to consider going to bumping up to 25 until you're able to get those books done and maybe level Mordecai or Tyrant to 60. Your Sill, I didn't change the masteries on your Sill of the Drakes either, because it looks like you've already reset them once for the free reset, and I didn't want to spend 150 gems to reset them, just because I don't need to do it for this run, but it would be helpful if you reset her masteries and put her into defense and support, and I'll show you what I would suggest afterwards. But you definitely don't need offense masteries on Sill unless you're going War Master. And you really shouldn't be going War Master on Sill unless you're using her in Clan Boss for some reason. Definitely give her the Fearsome Presence. And then just support masteries are really helpful. And when you do have a little bit better gear, I would try to stick her in a resistance build. She's really good in hard Doom Tower in a resist build there. Yeah, so it seems like 25 is fine. 100% run. Ultimate Death Knight's really in no fear of dying. So it's just 24 that's a little bit sketchy. So before I forget, for the Sill masteries, I would go Resist, Rejuve, Blast Proof, down here to Retribution. Either Retribution, Fearsome Presence, or just down here to Cycle of Revenge, Fearsome Presence. You don't really need both of these, so I'd probably take away Retribution. And then over here, you can go for more healing if you want. But when you put her in a resist build, you're going to be hard up for accuracy. So I'd go down the accuracy route, basic accuracy, and then Arcane Celerity. Give her more turn meter when her stuns wear off. Evil Eye is good on her. Lore of Steel, not really if you put her in a Relentless build. And then, so like down here, and then maybe to Cycle of Magic or Lore of Steel. And then down to Spirit Haste is good. Over to Lasting Gifts can be good as well for her increased speed. And that's a really strong Sill build. You'd be looking for like 250 accuracy, 400 to 450 resist, around 180 to 200 speed if you can, and the rest into building her as tanky as possible. Her hit points definitely need to be higher if you want to use her into harder content. So let's just go take a look and see where you're farming on Dragon. Okay, so you've got Helicath, you've got some Wave Clear. Yeah, that's a pretty reasonable team. I would probably say like, I don't know how much damage Helicath is doing. But a team like Ultimate Death Knight or Pythian, they'll just make sure that you never die. And then you can just bring all damage dealers. You could drop... You could do something like this as well. That should be able to farm up to 24, 25. But you don't have a ton of options to work with here. For your Fire Knight team, you're in the same spot, I guess. So Helikath gives you some counterattack, I suppose. You want Apothecary for the triple hit. Do you have a healing reduction? Oh yeah, Cold Heart. So you could do something like this. Plus Wave Clear. So this team would probably be able to farm up to 24, maybe 25. I'm just gonna label this Fire Knight for ya. And then you would turn off his Disintegrate. Round 3 you would open with the A1. Open. 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 And do not use. This one I'm kind of interested in trying. So let's try stage 22. The only problem is you might not have enough tank stats on Cold Heart to make this work. I probably should have gone with the defense aura. Tyrant or Mordecai would be pretty good for wave clear here too, just the AoE HP burn. Yeah, these champions are quite squishy. It's okay though, Pythion just keeps everybody going. Oh, I forgot to have him open with his A1 on the final floor. Okay, so that's how the waves are gonna go. I'll pause and we'll come back at the end. So we're at the end of the excuse me, the end of the second wave here. Everything's safe with Pythion here. No real risk of dying on the waves. The only issue would be if somebody gets clapped right before the wave, the Fire Knight round, the boss round. I don't think that would happen because as you get fewer and fewer opponents, it's harder for them to kill you. And we've got a lot of sustain on this team. So opens with multi-hitters. And then we hopefully get... Yeah. We didn't get the heal reduction up. Oh. She doesn't have enough accuracy, I forgot. So that could be an issue. Yeah, he's moving too fast as well. We desperately need, a decreased speed up. Okay, so we got decreased speed, but now everybody's dead. So yeah, it just needs basically a tankier team, probably. More revenge accessories, more counterattack masteries. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Alright, well, I tried. You basically need a combination of heal reduction with Cold Heart, but you're going to need to build her a bit tankier and a bit less damage. And then multi-hitters and wave clear. So maybe if you took out Kale for another like solid multi-hitter, maybe Vogoth with his healing passive could work, and he's got the triple hit A1. Philja, or however you pronounce her name, the dwarf epic. She's got the full turn meter depletion there, which could help. But unless you... Oh, you have a lure. Okay. Alright, so just... Yeah, you just build out a lure. So your team would be... Heal reduction. Well, with a lure, if you build her fast enough, you don't actually need heal reduction. So... basically something like this. You'd have the wave clear, multi-hitters to get the shield down, and you just need to have her running super fast. And she would only use... her A1 on the final round. So it's a decent Fire Knight team. And Ice Golem... You're still on 17 here, so... I will build your Ice Golem team as well. Resist Aura is good, or Defense Aura. My game is lagging. Okay, so I don't think you need anything special here. This team should just run straight through Ice Golem for you. It won't be fast runs. Putting like a toxic set on somebody could really help speed up these runs for you. But the idea here is just bring enough wave clear to get to the boss quickly. And then hopefully you whittle it down over time. An HP burner, again, like Mordecai if he's 60, or Tyrant, would be good for wave clear and for boss damage. Ultimate Death Knight in a toxic set, if you ever get one good enough, can basically solo the boss. So you have some pretty good options. Now, I do believe this team is tanky enough that you can survive the retaliation, at least up to 20. Pythion is the only one you really need to live, and then he just revives everybody. But since he's in a clan boss build, he may not be tanky enough once you start going past 20. But eventually, you'll be able to get him in a really good set for doing stuff like this. Ultimate Death Knight tanks all the single target hits, and he's got high resist, so you can't get the healing reduction put on you. I don't recall if any of these champs have Brimstone, but that could be helpful as well. So yeah, at this stage, the boss isn't hitting very hard. So I'm gonna go ahead and run up a few more stages and see where we get stuck. Alright, so there's Ice Golem 20 autoed. I don't have time to keep going, but this team should be able to farm up to 24 or 25. It'll be very slow because your wave damage isn't that great once you start getting that high. But it'll get the job done. And I just want to make sure I set these all up properly. Yeah, I don't think I put the spider team in here. So this was what I thought would work for Dragon. You could probably take out Apothecary here and put in more damage either for the waves or for the boss. Or you can put in Ultimate Death Knight if you find your damage dealers are dying too quickly. So I'll leave that last spot empty for you. And then your spider team. Like so. No AI presets on here. So there it is, my friend. I hope you enjoy your new teams. We only used 4 mil silver, so pretty solid. Yeah, and I hope that helps you out. So thanks for supporting the channel and letting me play around on your account. And for anyone else looking for a takeover, once we get to 800 subscribers, I'll be doing more giveaways. So every 100 subscribers, at least for the foreseeable future. Thanks all for watching and supporting the content, and I will catch you in the next one.